What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Monday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Connie, and we end the week on a roller coaster ride. Friday was 3-0, Saturday was 0-3, Sunday back to 3-0. So we finished the week up 2.5 units. A 3-0 day yesterday. No complaints about that. We had the Tampa Bay Rays minus 130 in the morning. That was sweaty. That was an 11-10 baseball game, but they won that. We had Detroit on the money line. They were up 4-1, and then they were trailing 5-4, and then they won 6-5 in extras. So we got lucky there. The luck turned around. Then we had the Houston Astros and the Atlanta Braves on a money line parlay that was never, ever in doubt at all. So that was great. It's the start of a new week. If you're in the United States, it is Memorial Day. I'm not the type to say Happy Memorial Day. It's not necessarily a happy day by any means, but respect to everybody who serves in the military. I know I do have a lot of viewers coming from the United States. So if it's, whatever you're doing for Memorial Day, remember those. Have your cookouts. You've got 2 big basketball games tonight. I know I said yesterday I was probably done betting the NBA and the NHL. What am I doing today? 2 of the 3 bets are in the NBA. So go figure. Before we get to that, I just want to talk about a quick contest I am running until June the 8th. I'm giving away $25 in sports bet to a sportsbook of your choice. This is open just to residents of Canada only. All you have to do to enter, if you're a subscriber, you get 3 entries automatically. Anytime you comment on a video, you get an additional entry. And then if you follow me on Twitter at Tyler Conium, every time I post the squeeze video of the day, you retweet that, you get 3 entries. And every time you like it, you get 1. So you can have 100 entries if you want. And then on June the 9th, I will do here on this video an automated generator name pick thingy. And the winner will get $25 in bets to a sportsbook of your choice. Now, let's get into it today. As I mentioned yesterday, I might stick to baseball and WNBA. Here we are back with the NBA, and I'm taking the Miami Heat plus 7.5. This is minus 110 at FanDuel. Some books might be at 8. What is going... look, this is Game 7. In what world is this line plus 8? The Boston Celtics are like minus 300 to win this basketball game and become the first team in NBA history to come back from a 3-0 deficit. In the wins, they just won by 1, obviously on the last second tip. They've won by 13. They've won by 17. They lost the first 3 games. This is Game 7. Miami's lost 3 games in a row, and you're going to catch 7.5 to 8 points. Just based on that alone, I'm going to bet Miami. If this is a blowout win for Boston, touche. They'll join the Boston Red Sox, who came back in 2004 from down 3-0. They'll join the New England Patriots in the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history against the Falcons. That's just kind of what Boston does. Look, I would not be surprised if the Boston Celtics win this game. There have been 3 teams in NBA history that have come back from 3-0 to go 3-3, and all 3 of those teams have lost in Game 7. This is in Boston. We'll see. The crowd could either play for them or against them. There could be too much pressure. There could be too much stress. Joe Mazzulla is a very young coach. How is he going to handle that? Whereas Spoelstra, he's been here. He's done this. He's got to the top of the mountain, so we'll see. But having said that, I've got to take Miami Heat plus the money, and I'll sprinkle a little bit on the money line as well, plus 260. I've done it the last 3 times and have lost all 3 of the 2 times and lost 2 of those. But at plus 260 in a Game 7, that's just an automatic. If a team gets to Game 7, they shouldn't be a 3-1 underdog, in my opinion. So, officially, Miami Heat plus 7.5, 1.1 units there at FanDuel. And then there is a long, storied theory that Game 7s go under because teams are tight, teams are nervous, teams are scared to shoot, their offense is a little bit stiff. I'm going to buck that trend a little bit because I've been fairly cold over the last few weeks despite the 3-0 yesterday. I'm going to kind of go against the trend a little bit or go against what maybe is most likely. So feel free to fade this, obviously. But the line is set painfully low at 203.5. This is minus 110 at FanDuel as well. And you look at, the last 3 games, you can go, well, games 1 through 3, Miami won all of those. They all went over. Boston's won the last 3 games. They all went under. True, but this is the lowest total by far that it has been set to. So Game 4 that went under was set at 216. It went under by 1. Game 5 was set to went under by 7.5, but it was set to 214.5. 207 was the total. And then last game was at 209 and it went under, but only by 2. This is the lowest total that they have set. at 203.5. None of these teams have played under that. The last time Miami went under that was May 12th against the New York Knickerbockers. That was the final game of that series. And then for Boston, the last time they went under that total was Game 7 against Philadelphia. So you could look at that and go, well, deciding games tend to go under. 203 is just low. I just don't see a 90-85 game here. I don't think either defense is necessarily that good. It's just not how these two teams play against each other. And when Miami wins, like 123-116, 128-102, it goes way over. So yes, that's gone under 3 games in a row, but none of these games would have gone under the total of 203.5. If this was the total of the whole series, over would be 6-0. So I'm taking over 203.5 for 1.1 unit at FanDuel. And the last bet of the day, we're going to go to baseball. We'll go to the Tampa Bay Rays at the Chicago Cubs. You've got the 39-16 Rays going against the 22-30 Cubs. So Tampa is much better than Chicago. An interesting pitching matchup today. We've got Taj Bradley going for Tampa versus Marcus Stroman, former Blue Jay, going for the Cubs. And it's juiced to the under here at under 8. I'm going to go over 8. For -104, that's at FanDuel. And now I know why they're doing this, because you've got Bradley, he's 3-1 with a 4.44 ERA, which is actually not that great, and a 1.15 whip. Stroman's 4-4, but he's got a 2.95 ERA and a 1.09 whip. But again, you put those numbers together and you get 8 just out of the starting pitching alone. For Tampa, Rays have gone over 9 straight games. They've also gone over 9-0 and 9 straight following a win. 5-0 in their last 5 interleague games to the over. Over is 6-0 in their last 6 against a right-handed starter. When you look at Tampa's recent games, there have been 21 runs, 11, 12, 9, 10, 21, 10, 10, 12. You have to go all the way back to 9 games ago where it was a 1-0 win for McClanahan against Milwaukee. 2 of the last 10 games they've played have had over 20 runs scored. And then you look at Chicago, they've had 13, 13, 9, 11, 6, 9, 3, 15, 11, and 13. They're going over like crazy as well. Chicago, the over is 7-0 in their last 7 interleague games and 4-0 in their last 4 home games. And again, you look at Bradley, who last time when he had 4 innings pitched, he gave up 4 against Toronto. He's given up in 5 innings. He's given up 3 against Houston. He's only averaging 4 2/3 innings pitched this season, while giving up the ERA of 4.44. And then you look at Stroman, definitely been much better. His last time out, it was a 4-2 win against the Mets. He went 8 innings, gave up 2 runs. Before that, he beat Philly 10-1 in 6. But the last time he played some, pretty good competition with Minnesota, he gave up 6 runs. So 8's there's push potential there at 8, which I like. I could see this being a 5-3 final, a 6-2 final, something like that. Once we get into the bullpen, too, I think the Rays could potentially light up Stroman, or once they get into the bullpen, do damage on the back half. So I think this game goes over. It is a 2:20 p.m. start time. Those day games in Chicago tend to have a little bit more scoring as well. So I'll take the over there for 1.04 units at FanDuel. So no video tomorrow till we take Tuesdays off. So don't forget about the giveaway. But my card for Monday is the Miami Heat plus 7.5 for -110 at FanDuel. Heat and Celtics over 203.5 -110 at FanDuel. And Tampa Bay Rays and Chicago Cubs over 8 -104 at FanDuel. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Conium for more picks and props throughout the day. TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions, and your audio is on Apple and on Spotify. Have a great Monday. Let's start this week strong, and let's talk sports.